Did you know you could repurpose small art for gift giving in the holidays? Hi, I'm Gail Hodgson and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be repurposing some art that I've done previously, alcohol inks in particular, and we're going to be making an art card and an ornament for Christmas. Okay, so this is an exciting way to use some of your artwork. If you have some stuff that you've done, I'm doing demos for classes all the time, so I have a lot of all of these kinds of things, and they're gorgeous. You know, it's nice to give gifts, but it's nice to give functional gifts too, especially for Christmas presents. So that's what we're doing, and we're going to make a cool ornament out of this plaque, this little wood plaque, and we're going to make a card, and all of it's going to be using the alcohol inks that I've done already. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is just make a little background for this card. These are card bodies and they're mixed media paper, but I like to do a separate paper and then stick it down on the card later because it's just a little neater that way. So I'll put that away for now. And I just want to make a pretty little background on this paper for our alcohol ink art. So it's going to be really simple, as you can see. I'm just going to make a nice little color background. And then we're going to let it dry. I love making Christmas themed stuff. It's really fun. I totally encourage anybody to just pull out some simple art supplies that you have, or you can, very little investment, you can just get some simple little, watercolor sets or a really small acrylic paint set and some nice paper, and you can experiment. I'm just going to make this a little bit faded everywhere. This is my scratchy paint technique. I'm just sort of spreading paint around, but I like the motion and the texture it gives. It's just kind of soft, but it's definitely a texture. There. And actually I'm going to paint, I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to let this dry. I have this cool little graphic tool, but you can use a cup. So you just need a circle. And I'm just going to set this aside, and we're going to use 2 different size circles for this one. 2 or 3, we'll see. What size do I want? This one, I think. Yes. Okay, so about there. And I'm just gonna simply make the circle and cut it out. Now you're not going to do this if you totally love your alcohol ink painting that you've done, or whatever painting you've done. You wouldn't want to do this, but I have so many, like I said, of these for doing demos for classes and stuff that they're just sitting in a file. No one's looking at them. So, and I love doing this because it makes a gorgeous little gift. And as you can, obviously you can use any of your own artwork that you've done in any kind of, medium acrylics or whatever, watercolor. Hopefully I got a nice enough circle. Sometimes you have to sort of just fuss with it a little bit. Okay, cool. That's one, and then I'll do another one. Which should I use? Maybe this. I have a little bit of a color theme, so that's kind of nice too. And actually, I like to, if I don't have to get too technical about the exact location of the circle, I will flip it this way and draw the pencil on this side so it doesn't show. But with the bigger one, I wanted to see exactly what I was doing, so I went on the front. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out. This is going to be, this theme is actually going to be like 2 ornaments on this cardstock. Do you remember those ornaments from our childhood? Like, I think they were made of glass. Everybody had those. They were so sparkly and beautiful. That was like a really exciting thing to do at Christmas time, was decorate the tree. And I just loved those ornaments. Except for I didn't like untangling the lights. I bet you nobody liked doing that. Or remember, you know, they wouldn't work because of one light bulb. And then you'd spend hours looking for the dud. Okay, so that's pretty. Oh, look at that. Love it. I wonder if I should do 3. I'll do 3. So we need a medium-sized one. Okay, let's do this. Like I said, these, you know, you don't have to have this. You can use a cup and a bowl and the inside of a tape roll and that kind of thing. So just keep it simple. Let me see, I think I'll use, what shape should I use? I mean, what size? Probably, I think this one. Okay, so I'm going to use this back of this now. Also, I was thinking about tree decorations and that you don't see anymore, like tinsel. Remember those tinsel, those icicle things that would hang, they would be all in like long strings and they'd be all staticky and floating in the air. I don't remember every time anybody would walk by, especially the dog, they'd attract the icicles. Those things are neat. I don't see them anymore. And I know when we did our trees in the past, you know, there was definitely no color theme. It was every color that possibly exists. But they looked really cool. Just sit and gaze at it, especially at night, of course, right, when you put all the lights on. All right. There. Okay, I like that there's 3. Okay, so I'm just going to glue these down. I like to use a paintbrush for the glue so I can get it quite neatly on the back of the little paper. There we go. Start with the big one first. There we go. Get that down. You know, and this is nice too because you can, you know, if you don't have something to repurpose, you can easily make it. And that way too, when you're personalizing it for somebody to give as a gift, you can pick their favorite colors and stuff too. That's nice to do. There we go. Glue and paint and all kinds of fun. in the Christmas elf shop.
We're Santa's elves in the workshop, making lots of toys for good girls and boys.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everybody!
Christmas!
Now to make it more into looking like little ornaments hanging. I mean, they're funky abstract ornaments. Okay, so we're going to use a straight edge, which we could just use side of this. And now we're going to use a marker and make some little hanging string things. You kind of center it where the ornament would naturally have a little string. Oops, moved it. Right to the top, and then this one can be right there, and then this one. There we go. And I'm going to put a little, actually I'm just going to put a little bow. You can put a little cap thing like a top of Ornaments has sometimes, or you can just use a little bow like this. That's cute too. Oh, I like that. Cool. Like that, and then we will fix that to our card body thing with these little, these are really cool. This is what I use a lot. They're like a double-sided little tab for sticking artwork onto cards. And you just plunk these down. And then you pull the little tab off to expose the other sticky side. I mean, you could glue this down, but that's a lot of glue, where you can just use this. And then that way, if somebody went wild over your creation, they could take this off and frame it. Maybe not for a Christmas card, but if you're doing other abstract art cards. And it looks so nice on that little white card frame too, the way that frames it around the edge. There you go. Gorgeous little handmade card. So that was that one. And now I'm going to just set this aside there, and we're going to do our actual ornament. So I've just got these samples to show you. These are really cool. I've done before, and both of them were alcohol ink and a cool little repurposed jewelry. That's exactly what we're doing. Okay, so let's take one of our little artworks that we're not using anyway and pick a little area, sort of guesstimate where that might go. Maybe I'll make this one a little more green instead of, I'm always drawn to that color. Maybe there, sure. Okay, and I'm going to flip it over, and this time I'm not going to trace around exactly here because I want to trim it really neatly at the very end with a knife. So I'm going to kind of go approximately around here, and it doesn't matter that it's wonky because we just want to get it glued down before we trim it really neatly and tightly. Okay, so now I know that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to cut this out. That was one other thing I loved doing when I was a kid, and actually even into adulthood, is wrapping Christmas presents. I absolutely love that just because I guess of all the color and the the glitter. That was so much fun to do, and I got pretty artful with how you put bows and the ribbons wrapped around the present 3 times and stuff like that. It's really cool. I remember those days. All right. Ooh, cool. Kind of looks like the earth. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. I might need a little bit more glue. Actually, I can go like this and spread it out. Use this up. Make sure your glue is getting out to the edges so that it sticks to the edges of this really well. Right. Move this down. You just check it in the back. Make sure it's looking right. These little wood pieces you can get at the dollar stores. And I've just painted it previously, like with primer or gesso or even just white paint. And we're going to paint the back too in a second, but I just want to get this part done first. Okay. Now, all right. So let's cut this very neatly. Now that we've got it glued down, this glue dries pretty fast, so that's good. And here's a little cutting mat and an X-Acto knife. This is kind of the way I like to do things. And you can use the thickness of this piece to guide your knife. But you're going to get a really nice clean cut. Just take your time doing this. Cool. This is a big circle. I might have to do it again a little bit. Just a little spot stuck. My knife is probably dull. There we go. We are going to gussy up the back of this though too with some gold paint in a second. Here. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Okay. Now we will paint the back of this so it's not just ugly white color. My fancy gold paint. This is metallic Modern Masters, which is a really nice brand. I'm just going to paint this in my hand because I'm going to paint the edges too. It's always nice to use, you know, glitzier metallic colors for Christmas stuff. Give it that sparkle. Nice. And then I just like to do a little bit around the edge. Even though I'm going to get fingerprints on it, that's okay. Okay, let that dry a little bit. And you know, the other thing you can do to even personalize this more is you can take after this is dry, you can take a, some kind of paint pen or even the gel pen or whatever, you can write a message on the back of this, or on this painted part, which is nice too. Put the, you know, the person you're buying or sending this gift to or whatever, you could put their name on it or put Christmas 2025, that kind of thing. All right, now this has to dry a minute. One Christmas, I'll never forget this. I don't know what happened still, I have no idea, but where I grew up there was lots of snow all the time. And you know, your parents put out the cookie and the milk for Santa and all that kind of stuff, so I believed in Santa. And I was like the last person up, and my mom and dad had gone to bed, and I was too, you know, wired up like a kid to go to sleep, and I heard this really big thumping ruckus on the roof. And I was like, what the hell is that? And the first thing that came to my mind was Santa's sleigh's landing, and I just ran to bed because I thought he's not going to come in if I'm up. I don't know what that was. It must have been snow falling or on the whatever, off the roof or something, but that kind of freaked me out. And then I believed in Santa from then on for sure, except for when a friend of mine who was a little bit older and wiser said, there's no Santa, it's just your parents. I was really devastated. I was actually mad at all the adults lying. It's true. True story. Okay. That's dry enough or not? Just do this. All right. Now the final touch is, this is so much fun. I won't bring all my jewelry trays out, but I have lots of, you know, broken and missing earring, pair jewelry kind of a thing. And I thought I'd put this on, this little piece, to be able to be the hook. So I'm going to just glue that on with a hot glue gun. Oops. And we'll just do this. It's a little bit tricky because it's all dangly. I'll go like this then. Oops. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Come on now. Hot glue guns are not expensive either. That's pretty easy to get. So I'm gonna get it on like that. Just put it in place. I usually always burn my fingers. You're pressing something down, and then there's all these little strings you got to get rid of too. All right. Okay, that's really pretty, except for we do have one more little part. You do need a little hook on the earring. I like using earrings for this because of the way the chain part dangles down. Well, this one looks cool too though, this one, but I like that. Okay, so the last step is just the little you know, some kind of little ribbon thing to hang it. And that's a really simple little procedure of just threading it through like this. And that's it. You have your little Christmas ornament to give to somebody. Isn't that pretty? Love it. So what we did today was we repurposed some artwork that I did previously that I wasn't really using. You can do that too. You can, if you have some, you know, things you're experimenting with and you want to use them, this is a great way to do it. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you got something out of this today, and I'm really grateful for you spending time. I hope you get creative this Christmas.